Hey, what's up, guys? TJ back here with another YouTube video today. And today's topic, I wanted to cover just a concept and idea that I covered over with one of my students that are in my high level coaching program for car sales professionals. And the whole idea that we ran across and the problem that we were having is he knew what to do, but the problem he was having is being consistent. And being consistent isn't just the fact of, needing to just do the work. If you know you need to do the work and you're not doing it, there's fundamentally an issue here. And so, me knowing, having experience in the past with being inconsistent for a long time and just like not being able to stick to something for a while, I had to go through a process that allowed myself to change my identity to become somebody that is consistent, puts in the work, no matter what, regardless, non-negotiable, so that I can get the results that I want. And so there was a specific process that I went through in order to create this, whole idea and concept for myself. And I wanted to share that with you guys today. And the whole idea of it is called setting the scene. And I had a call with one of my mentors for an hour. It was a while back, like 2 years ago. And to this day, I still remember this exercise because it changed my life. So I wanted to share this with you guys and be able to share what he shared with me to pass on the torch and share this whole idea and concept with you guys that allowed me to feel like I am working towards becoming the person I need to be. So this whole idea is the concept of setting the scene. Okay. And setting the scene is basically setting down the idea and creating the image in your own head of your ideal lifestyle, right? And so when you create your ideal lifestyle and you think about it and you visualize it and you can think of everything in small details, you in your brain have now created the thought of your life being a specific type of way. And so now that reality exists based off the fact that now that you thought of it and you've created that idea, reality now exists on a certain frequency. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do that so that you can tap into that and create the reality that you want based off of setting the scene. Right. So one of the first most important things about setting the scene is defining your purpose. That's huge. A lot of people walk in life without understanding this. It doesn't have to be anything deep. It doesn't have to be super deep. It doesn't have to be life changing, but you have to have some sort of purpose. You have to walk with some, uh, pep in your step because you're going somewhere. You have to know where you're going. Don't clearly define what your purpose is, what you want to do, and why. The why is the most important thing. The why is what's going to carry you through the days that you don't want to do, the things that you don't want to do. And those are the moments where you're going to be able to create the reality that you want because it's not about the best days that you have. It's about the days that you don't want to be there. Those are what separate the great, the good from the great is showing up on the days that they don't want to and putting in the work regardless of how they feel. So defining your purpose is like, why are you doing what you do? What drives you? Who are you changing your life for? So for example, for me, a big part of my purpose is being able to help those around me, being able to help people. And if you're watching this video, hopefully like you, become more aware of their potential and provide them a better lifestyle through the information that I learn, etc. Right. So my purpose is to serve the people around me. And when it became bigger than me, it wasn't a question because I had to stop being selfish for myself and start being selfless so I can dedicate the time, effort, and energy necessary in order to create the future that I want for me and my family. So that was very important for me. The purpose is what's going to drive you. It's what's going to drag you out of bed. It's what's going to keep you burning, burning every single day so that you can keep pushing the needle forward regardless of how you feel. Number two is your mission. You have to understand where you're trying to get to because uh, uh, a journey without a destination is just aimless walking, right? So you have to clearly define where you want to go and then why you want to get there, right? So clearly defining what your current mission is just like I wanted to do XYZ by X amount by X time, right? That's just defining your mission statement and declaring that you're going to set your mind to do something, right? So that's the first part. The second half of this whole exercise is answering the questions for each one of these time frames, right? It's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. The reason why we have these time frames is because it gives you enough time to like think about the micro, which is like, you know, the now, the 3 months, the 6 months, the 12 months, this year, right? And then open up your time horizon to a few years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, right? And as you lay down this scene for yourself, you want to create this image of what you have. And for every single one of these time frames, you want to answer the questions that I have down below, right? So, for example, what material things do you want, right? Like what what car do you want? What house do you want? What clothes do you want? What like watch do you want? Etc. Right? The worldly physical things, like do you want a boat? Do you want a plane? Whatever it is, you have to define what you want materialistically, right? And it's important to do that. You know, some people, you may say you're not a materialistic person, but it's important to define, like, you know, specific things that you see yourself with at a specific level, right? Because certain things are going to allow you in the physical world to understand that you are the type of person that you say you are when you have those things. Where do you want to be, like, in a location wise, right? So in terms of like, what state do you want to be in? What city do you want to be in? What country do you want to be in? You have to understand where you physically want to be located and where you want to be based out of. Number three, this one's huge. Like, how do you physically want to look? Like, how do you want to dress? How do you want to look in terms of your hairstyle? You know, the shoes that you wear, pants that you wear, the shirts, the jackets, etc. Your style and your physique, your health. How do you want to look at yourself in the mirror, right? That's huge. For me, fitness has been a massive part of my life, and it always will be because, you know, you only get one body and you better be treating it well, right? And I understand, at least for my industry, it's really hard to, um, people always make excuses about why they can't get in the gym. It's a bunch of BS. You know, if you're not happy with your where you are physically, it's your fault, right? That's the whole thing. Take extreme ownership over it. You don't have the body that you want. You don't look the way that you want. It's your fault. Take every action necessary. Some people are put in less fortunate situation than others. Some people aren't as blessed with as good of health, um, and maybe have some struggles, but you know, your physical appearance and your physical capability is solely up to you if you decide that you want to be somebody and look a certain type of way. So defining that very clearly is certainly very important. And what do you want to have your relationships like? What do you want your relationships to look like with your parents, your siblings, your significant other, your friends, etc., right? What type of relationships do you want to have in your life? How do you want them to look like? How do you want them to feel? And clearly defining that is, you know, an important part so that you understand what you're looking for when you find somebody that comes into your life. Then you have a good filter to understand who can come in and who can come out at what point in time, right? What skills do you want to have? This is huge, right? Skills are everything in this world. You get paid based what you're worth. You get paid on what you're worth. So you got to become more valuable as an individual, right? So this, like, skills like sales, marketing, copywriting, you know, being able to handle objections, whatever it is, like, you have to understand what skills you're lacking so that you can develop them. So, for example, one of my biggest skills I'm working on right now is leadership. You know, hiring and a good leader to follow. Right, people that are willing to die for my cause and the people that I lead. So that's something I'm working on right now. But you know, you have to define that for yourself wherever you're at, right? And if you don't have any skills, then figure out what skills you need. The other part as well is, if you're not making the money that you want to make, figure out what skills you're missing and then go out and grab and get them. The other things, what character traits do you want to have, right? If right now you're not disciplined, fix that. For a while, I know that was a big thing for me. If you're not consistent, fix that. For a long time, I wasn't disciplined. And I really pride myself on now being able to do these things that I say I want to do. and actually do it, right? Because it takes a level of discipline to get to levels that you want to get to in the first place, and it's just a prerequisite to get to where you want to go. And psychoanalyze yourself. Really look at like a hard look at yourself and like think about who you are, why you are the way that you are, why do you think the way that you think, and really understand what your weaknesses are and what's been holding you back from achieving your goals. The more you scrutinize yourself and the more you look at yourself, the more clear specific character traits will come clear that you are lacking or that you already have or bad ones that you need to get rid of to be able to fix them. And the last one is really important. How do you feel about yourself? When you look in that mirror, what do you want to feel about yourself at every single stage? Where like, how do you want to view yourself? How do you want to look at yourself? What do you want your self image to be like? Right? You have to clearly define that so you can work towards it. Okay. So basically, just to reiterate the whole concept of setting the scene and why it's so important and why it's changed my life, it's because it allowed me to create the image that I wanted in my life. And so as soon as I thought about all these things, the idea now exists because I created it, right? And so all I had to do is act as if I was already that person. And over a long enough time horizon, time just caught up and the results became a reality, right? And it's a constant process of reiterating this over and over and over and over again. This is one of the exercises that I will always continue to revisit throughout my life. It's like being able to do this is what's going to allow me to keep pushing the needle forward, right? And so, for example, if you feel like you have troubles with specific character traits, you can't seem to drop a bad habit, you can't seem to develop the right habits, you can't seem to stick to your word, you seem to not have the results that you want to have in your lives, super highly recommend doing something like this. I really recommend doing this after you get off this video. You know, it's a waste of time if you took this and don't apply it at all. So I highly suggest you sit down, think about this for 30 minutes to an hour, and just really clearly define like what you want, where you want to go. And everything else becomes clear, right? I do believe that God has a bigger purpose and vision for you, and He has bigger things in store for you than just what you genuinely believe at the first place, right? They say in the Bible that God laughs at your goals, right? Because like what He has is so much more grander for you than what's originally written out for you, what you originally think. So if you can shoot big, grow big, and truly commit to that process of becoming that person that can deserve what you really truly do desire, then that's what's going to change the game for you. Okay. So I really hope you found this video extremely helpful, as well as it as good as it found me. But if you guys like this type of video, then like and let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this, because again, I've been coming out with more stuff like this recently, but really does truly resonate with me. But I hope this provided you guys with some value. Catch you guys in another video. Peace.